everybody, my name's Jen, also known as the Chronic Health Advocate. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my son's bedroom and bathroom and show you the major renovation that we did to make it accessible and to put in a ceiling truck lift, make it safe for him for transfers and also for bathing. Stay tuned. Everybody, it's Jen again. So I like to start each segment with a little bit of a fun fact just so you can get to know something about myself or my family. Today's fun fact is that we have been quite involved for a number of years with various charities and marketing campaigns and that sort of thing in the community with children's hospitals, fundraising, those sorts of things. Something that I've always involved the kids in. I tend to do more of the speaking than they do, but they've also been involved as well. So it's really a fun way to give back. And we certainly appreciate all the great services that we've had, especially for my son. So today I wanted to give you a little tour. My son has Angelman syndrome and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So Ehlers-Danlos is more of a condition that affects the joints and those sorts of things, all the connective tissues. And Angelman syndrome is a very significant genetic condition in which he is unable to speak, has very poor fine motor skills, cannot walk, along with the Ehlers-Danlos. That would be one of the reasons he doesn't walk. He relies on a feeding tube, has seizures, those sorts of things. So as a result, my son cannot walk and he relies on a wheelchair. He also relies on complete assistance for transfers. So I actually am making this video in part for a friend, and you'll know who you are, who is going through trying to get a major renovation done for her home to make her home safe for her child, who she uses a wheelchair and also is to the point where the family desperately needs a lift in the home for safety for their daughter, for transfers, for bathing into her wheelchair, and also very much the safety of her mother and those who are caring for her, because lifting is really, really hard on the body. But there's a lot of thought that's put into doing a major renovation like this. We took a very long time, and when I say a long time, it was many years of putting thought into how we wanted to make the house work as best as it could. We live in a small house, it's a small bungalow. We also considered doing an addition to the house, but that didn't really work for this space and the land. And we also, obviously, we didn't have a lot of funds to do this, so that was a concern with what we could afford in doing such renovation. And I will talk on another, I have a lot of fundraising information. I will talk a little bit about how we funded this renovation, as well as other things such as our wheelchair van and other things that my son's needed. So I'm going to take you on a little bit of a tour where I'm going to navigate the camera to kind of show you around his room and the bathroom and how they work for us. Hi, it's Jen again. So I'm going to take you on a little tour now. This house is a bungalow. It doesn't have a lot of space. It actually had 3 bedrooms on the main floor before and a very, very small bathroom. So we ended up moving one of the bedrooms downstairs that his sisters used. Actually, when we had a flood, it ended up that we had a flood and we needed the bedroom, or needed the space built back, so we built it into a bedroom for them, and that kind of freed up the space up here. So when we finally got to the renovations up here, I had put a lot of thought into what needed to happen, just very practically, to make this work for our son. So I'm just going to flip around. So this entire half of the house was actually at one point gutted. The The kitchen and the living room stayed the same, but the 3 bedrooms and the bathroom were completely gutted. I don't think I can switch it now. All right, well, I'll come this way. Okay, so they were stripped down. Now, as a result, we have quite a large master bedroom. We ended up with more space in the master bedroom and in my son's room. One of the reasons I wanted the space or needed the space in my son's room is he has a lot of equipment. So we needed space to house the equipment. So if I come into his room here, excuse the mess, this is actually an extra mattress that is not staying. We have a different bed right now, so we're trying a different mattress. So under here we have his commode chair, his bath seat, which I will get out and show you in a bit. And so that's kind of in there for storage. We also have, there's quite a bit of room in here. This used to be a bigger bed. We had a double, and we just had a hospital bed put in. I realized at our last hospitalization that it was easier for me to handle him to have the bed that was raised and to be able to put up and down. So we finally have a hospital bed. It's also more narrow. It frees up more room in the room. So again, it's quite large. Back here, a mat that he uses for his any exercises. His closet is jam-packed full of all his supplies. We also have some supplies underneath his bed now. And of course, his dresser, his TV, because he doesn't like to sleep. So one of the main things that was really important for this room was having the bathroom accessible or connected to his bed. And the reason for that is that we need to be able to safely pick Cameron up and take him over to the shower, get him showered, and bring him back all again safely. As you know, lifting, he's 18 now, someone who's wet and soapy and squirmy, and bathrooms are the worst place for injuries. If you were to drop someone, you could really injure them on the tub or the toilet. So we had to have it connected. The other reason I wanted it directly connected was that for privacy issues and going forward, I didn't want to have to put a teenage boy or a young man in a sling and sling him through the hall naked and wet. Just, not that his sisters don't really mind, but if there's people over, just privacy for him. So I wanted it to be connected so he would have that privacy, obviously, for showers. So we came up with a very cool design, and excuse us, I don't have the rest of the painting done on it. So we have sliding pocket doors. What you'll notice is there's a track that goes over Cameron's bed, and the track goes through these really great sliding doors. So the pocket doors open and connect directly to the bathroom. It's also the only bathroom on the main floor, so we had to keep this so it actually worked for the rest of the family. So you can come in the other way, which is not through Cameron's room. So if I were bathing Cameron, I would put him in a sling, and I can show you that after, and bring him directly through these doors. So I don't have to worry about having him naked and dripping down the hall. And then the other feature with this, so this bathroom actually ended up being, this bathroom ended up being a bit larger, but not that much larger. It only became pretty much 1.5 feet larger, which we then built in storage there. However, we needed the sling, the line, the track to come up along this side and alongside the tub, which you'll see if you're doing a renovation yourself. And this here is a special curtain rod because we need, in order for him to get in the sling to his bath seat, we need for this curtain rod to open up. So just to explain how expensive things are whenever they're labeled a specialty or medical item, this just the shower rod alone, this swinging rod, I think was $355 that I had to pay just for this rod to come out. We did have some issues with installing it as well. I had a really lovely shower curtain on it that was quite heavy and it pulled down and we had to do some adaptations. So that is basically just to show you how it's set up. I will try the sling in it. So what we have Cameron and we have him in the seat, and of course there is the takedown shower. We had also considered having a wheel-in type setup, a wheel-in shower. And the reason we didn't do that is because it being the only bathroom in the house, we would have lost the tub. And there wasn't enough room to have both. And the tub was really important for us. We also thought in case, oops, I'm leaning against something that's moving. We also thought in case we ever were to sell the house, that resale value, it probably wouldn't be very helpful if it didn't have a tub. So that was the main reason for that. The renovation, we love. Again, I'll get more into the costs later because it's quite a cost and how we had gotten the money for that. One of the other things that I had really thought about that we had done is that when we tiled the bathroom, I extended the tile, which you wouldn't normally see, tile into a bedroom floor. The reason for that is we knew that we would be slinging through him and he would be wet. And so I knew that things would be dripping on the floor. I thought if we put down some other type of floor, it would ruin the floor. So this, we could get wet. We obviously have to be careful because of the slipping and just wipe it up with a towel or whatever and it won't get destroyed. Hi, I'm back. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but if I am and there's a question you have, certainly just leave me a comment and I will answer that for you. So this is the unit that is the actual mechanism that's going to do the lifting for me. So you can hear the noise going. There's different kinds. This is a Voyager. We just had a really nice one in the hospital that it has a home button. I know the funny things that excite us. It has a home button, so after you use it, so it's not sitting here in the way and you're not knocking your head on it, you can hit the home button and it automatically goes up and back to its little home and recharges, which is a great feature. Probably costs a lot more money and I wish we had it because the charging's great too. This thing it has this like super pain in the butt, really heavy battery, and you have to remember to charge it or you're going to have somebody stuck in a lift. Actually, I don't think they can get stuck in a lift. I don't think it'll work if it's that low. So, I don't have him here. We're gonna use Teddy. I can use him another time. So basically, and I'm not gonna get into transfers. If you are doing this, you're going to obviously have your therapist work with you on how to do the proper transfers, which I am not. I am just showing you the mechanisms of the house. So the lift comes down. There are, can you hold that, Teddy? There are, that actually worked pretty good. Hi, Teddy. There are things, loops on the lift itself, and these actually go, the two bottom ones go for obviously around the legs, and I'm totally doing this wrong, and the upper ones. And there's different ones for different ways to position if you want them to be more upright or not. There's also different slings that work for showers that are different material. And we have two so that, I don't think either one of them is a special shower one, but we have two so that we can have a wet one. After I bring him back from the bath, we can, I can use a dry one to bring him down and so he doesn't get, use a dry one so I can put him then like in his wheelchair or whatnot and not have him get soaking wet. I do have to, remember I forgot to do something, just a sec. Aha, I had forgotten to put the chair into the shower, which is kind of important. Ideally, if we had two bathrooms upstairs, I would just leave the bath chair in there. It's kind of cumbersome. It's not super heavy, but I'm supposed to not be doing a lot of lifting. So it'd be great if I could leave it in there, but unfortunately there's a lot of us sharing that shower, so I have to put it in and out. So I'm going to press the up button on the lift, and as you'll see, Teddy is going up. So if my son were in this, you'd see his legs like totally dangling out. Now this one is manually pulled. Some of them aren't. Some of them have a thing where you don't have to manually pull them. It's not too awful. Again, I'm not supposed to lift a lot. It's not too awful. The way we have this, I just have to, no, I have it too high. I have it too high to go through the thing. So I just have to maneuver that rod a little bit through. Now, as I said, hi Teddy. So then I would pull back the curtain or not, swing out the curtain, which is super light. I would bring, so this is a curve, and however long the track is, and if you have curves and angles and corners, it ends up costing you more money. So Teddy's there. I'm going to lower Teddy onto the bath seat. Now, with my son, I just leave, like I would undo this, but I leave him on that, I leave him on the sling. So you have to kind of check in the back to make sure all the soap's off, but I leave him in the sling. So, and this bath seat, obviously you can get different bath seats. This is a new one and it sits up really, really high. We had one before that sits down. So I would then wash Teddy with that, or Cameron, whoever. And these lifts, they hold, like adults can get in these. They hold a few 100 pounds. They always tell you to try them out too, just so you feel comfortable. So Teddy's had a shower. So then I'm gonna pick Teddy up. Teddy's at this point would be dripping wet, so I do him up in a towel pretty good. And again, like I said, because I kept the floor is all tile, aside from slipping, which I know not to do, I'm not gonna worry about the floor getting wet because it's not gonna get ruined. And then I would bring Teddy back and lower him onto the bed. Now, we also use this lift for transfers into the wheelchair. I'd show you that, but the wheelchair's at school with my little guy. So we just use it, we can pull it out here, obviously part way, put his wheelchair beside the bed, and we use the lift to lower him back down into the wheelchair. So I think that's everything I wanted to go over for the renovation for in here. If you have any questions or I missed anything, maybe I'll add them to it. I hope this was helpful for my friend, you know who you are, and for anyone else who was interested in seeing this. We put a lot of thought into it, like I said, and we have not regretted the way we did it. It worked really well with the space. There isn't anything I would do differently if I could get one of those really nice lifts with the home button. They're beautiful. But other than that, we're very happy with this and the work that was done. So yeah, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you would like to see any more tips, advice. Like I said, I will have fundraising information coming up. So make sure you're added to there. And thanks for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Bye.